Have you ever noticed how a lot of photographers don't really speak about intent, but rather they look like they just came back from a funeral? They seem to be mourning the death of purpose in photography. We used to compete with each other, for style, light, vision, creating a fantastic photograph. Now we're competing, but with a computer, an algorithm, a computer that doesn't even blink to get what it wants. Whereas we have to go out for hours searching the streets and hunting light. I spent 10 years learning how to capture human emotion, thinking of poetry and studying the great artists, and then getting back to my camera and going out there again and again, thinking deeply about what it is that photography should reflect. And the whole time there's some laptop guy in California creating an app that would do all of that for me, apparently. It's even got to the point where they keep trying to convince us that AI can think, it's got emotions. Sure, it can feel what it sees, it can feel poetry. I don't think so. But then, in order to convince us even more, they're trying to tell us that AI will free us up from all the tasks that we have. Oh, what horrible task it is to go out and wander around and look at humanity and take shots of it. Oh, what a horrible task it is to sit and think and develop, post-processing the work that you've done and then feel that great feeling of satisfaction. But then you constantly got this problem with all the software that we use for post-processing. There's always in the corner there some little tempting little app that says, if you just push this button, everything will be fine and your photo will look so damn professional. And there's always this thing behind all these apps and all these little sort of apps and LUTs that we use in order to create just our photos, make them just a little bit better. You could take a photograph of your grandmother as a portrait and then maybe put it through one of those apps and say, just, butter up my grandmother's photo, make it look a little bit more nice. And then it pushes out something and makes her look like she's an influencer with a cup of tea in her hand. Next they'll create an app that says, go into the gym, get down to the gym, and the app will do all the work for you. It'll lift the weights and run the treadmill for you. You just sit on the side there drinking herbal tea. And at the end of the day, we've still got to go out there and take photos and then pump them into the computer and onto the internet so that AI can actually take these photos that we make and use them as the fodder that it uses in order to create weird looking photos with 6 fingers and 2 toes. People's faces that look like they're shocked, not happy. People's faces that look like they're made of plastic. I mean, who the hell wants that? Where does the intention go when we want this? How does it knocks the wind out of a photographer to be able to just go out there and put in all that work in order to get one great photo. And here's what really gets me, is that, we created AI in order to make everything easier for ourselves. That was supposed to be work. It was supposed to take away the drudgery of everyday work, and it was supposed to do all that for us. But then you got all these techie guys out there who are not artists and who are not photographers, always looking for problems, and they mistake a problem in art for a problem that is mundane and unpleasant to do. So they create an app that can color grade your photo for you. They create an app that can create contour and contrast where it wasn't before. And then in the end, it begins to look like it might just be better than us at creating these things. It's not really theft. What this is bad parenting. I don't know. Maybe that's progress. Maybe we built it because we can't stand the silence. We're terrified of imperfection. So we made something that could erase it. Everything's fast. We're pushed to do something. We're enticed to use these apps and make photos better than we could possibly do ourselves, or at least very different. And it looks like perfection. And in the process, we're erasing ourselves. We need to get back to the roots of why we photograph. Art. Make it be something that feels like something. And that feeling can only come from the heart of an artist. Robots make the art, then humans, we just make the excuses. We're good at that, and we all just complain. But what do we do about it? We still use the apps. We put our cameras on automatic, we go out because it's easier. But we still feel we made the photos. Then we go into post-processing and we use an app to make, bing, there it is, lovely looking photo from a crap shot. and we still feel like we're being artists. We built these gods and they don't need anybody to worship them because they are dominant gods. They overwhelm us with their ideas. And for some reason, we call that innovation. That's not progress, mate. I think it's probably the world's most expensive cry for help. Let's keep moving, let's keep taking photos, and let's try our best to be artists from here, the heart, the best app in the world. I'm Sean Durham. Thanks a lot.